We're starting at 100 times speed just because we are cool people. First thing I see is an outside board for Dobbs. Okay. So what do we have here? This is a best of 7 show match between Dobbs and Terror. They played it yesterday, I believe. They got some prizes in exchange for it, and I managed to get some half decent games for this week's weekly arena. I completely forget what this is even called. I haven't done it in a couple of weeks for being ill, so that's an interesting offshoot. So we have Terror here as the Saracens. Terror, of course, the lovable 2k. I should also mention at the same time as these matches were played, Terror fed a lot of elo, I believe, to Dark Noob, so he's down to 2k and 44 elo. Dobbs, exact same elo, 2044. So we're going to see how this one goes. Terror is here as the Saracens, the well-known 2k plus player, 2k3 highest, approximately. I don't quite remember. Dobbs, 2k1ish is his highest, around about that area. Terror is the Saracens. Map doesn't look ideal at first, but he does have a back second goal, that's always quite good. I should probably lower the desktop audio a little bit. I think the sounds of deleting walls are quite loud in the end. Second gold in the back kind of makes up for not having a good main gold. I mean, you are Saracens, so if you do actually lose your main gold, you can do some selling. No stone in the back, which is probably the better resource to sell if you don't have any gold to take. But that's not too big a problem. Still sell some wooden gold if that gets pushed, and he does have some bad gold to live on in the meantime. Stone's not so great. One outside, main stone is also pretty much against the wall, and it's kind of forward. So I think that might be a big problem for him. Although of course Saracens don't really need the stone. He might trust though, so 4 on wood, so it looks like he probably does not want to intend to trush. Before I mention Dobbs base, let's just talk about the scout engagement. Terror was the host, so he was the higher slot. Dobbs has a higher player color, but Terror was the host, so higher slot. And we can see that's actually not true, apparently. Terror being the host and lost the scout fight, and they appear to be attacking at the same time. Oh, Dobbs. He almost did this to me once when he was melee against me and I beat him as mines. Oh, but the sheep. That's pretty unfortunate. Both these players EU, pretty close to each other, Israel and Denmark. Not too far from each other, of course. It's virtually going to feel like single player at that distance, so very little lag. Dobbs main gold, pretty damn bad, but he has a nice second in the back as well. This is normal arena, I believe, 900 HP walls. Yep. Backstone is the Malian, so that could be quite good. Of course, you do want Farimba eventually, and also just castles could be quite good, especially when you do some sort of fast imp shenanigans. Though it's kind of hard to do as Malians. The only thing you could really go would be something like monks, and against Saracens, when they just get heresy, you're kind of screwed. But at least Dobbs won the scout fight, so he's going to be able to push his deer. Terror only 3 deer, so I remember watching his stream at this point. I exited out soon after not to get spoilers, but he said he was considering milling these if it was 4. Boogum looking to extend his platinum membership. Interesting. Which would work, by the way, if you did win. Terror is going to... I don't even know what Terror's doing anymore. His builds are pretty... He makes them up as much as I do. Dobbs is going for seemingly a low population. Okay. 24 plus 2 it looks like, and he's going to be buying some food. Probably selling a couple hundred or so to buy some food to do something pretty all in. Not entirely sure what, but it does seem a little bit odd. He is going for the Heavy gold. Oh, okay. I have no idea what he's doing. I don't think he can pull this build off though. Like, he's sitting at just about 200 food, half of the fuel age. He's not going to be able to click up. Unless he has some like crazy fuel boom planned, but I don't know. Maybe, well, maybe he was expecting a trush. I can see that being a thing, but of course, he's just kind of screwed himself by not being trushed. Yes, this isn't going to work. I don't see what he's going to do if he does sell stone though, because I could always sell 100 stone by 100 food. Add 1 TC, do something like scouts into, yeah, something like scouts into kind of like 2 TC boom, kind of milker struts. Stable or range? I would hope range. Oh, of course, but then you would have to build the market to sell the stone. Oh boy, 600 food. That's a nice FC you got there, Dobbs. That is absolute butchery of the FC system, but of course Terror also does his own thing. These are not build orders known to humankind. Do I still have the Boobly emotes? That's a nice clown you got there, Boogum. There's our clown. Terror doesn't just abuse the market, he abuses reality when he actually plays this game. But that's quite a bit on wood, 10 on wood, that's kind of a fair 3 TC boom, but... No. Is he just gonna go monks? Something pretty YOLO? Dobbs adding a lot of farms, of course he did go scouts, but he's probably gonna add 1 or 2. I don't see him adding a lot more than that. If he does, it's probably going to be good for him, of course, because he just doesn't have the economy anyway. That was that feudal age was definitely very anti-trush, but at the same time a bit suicidal. Monastery coming up. No wit for TC even, but he's probably just going to save for 1. He might have a chance to get relics. Though Monastery, as long as Terror does get sacked early, which I have seen do recently, will definitely work. Should work anyway. Dobbs didn't have the eco to even make that many scouts, let alone research like have, which would be a little bit stronger. And adding a TC. Interesting. Both players are going to do this kind of like fast up into some kind of map control, but then very slow boom following type of shenanigans, but I'm not a fan of that. I don't think that's probably the best idea. I think maybe being up a little bit later to get the map control and then add the TCs would be a little bit better. It's the way it's been working out in recent games is my thinking on that. I don't think it's too bad, but I think just the way it's been working, I think slightly higher populations are in favour at the moment. But then again, you've just got Melkor doing his thing to kill everyone, so... Hello? There we go. Terror finally adding his second TC, second extra. Dobbs can almost afford 1, but I feel like he's in a slightly better position just simply because Terror idled just to click up really. Terror does these fast up builds, but idles a lot. Light cav upgrade. Okay. That's a pretty significant investment from Dobbs there. And it really paid off. 3 monks. Double monster opening as well. Did he get something? He even did, yes. Dobbs, you're the man. You had the plan. You had the bad build, but you had the perfect plan. Malians with 5 relics definitely is a huge bonus, especially since Malians can have some really nice gold reliant units like Farimba Cavalier. They also have pretty decent camels, quite a big fan of their camels. Saracens can always try and combat them with their own, but with their slightly slower economy they can't really get the numbers up early enough to actually start fighting that. Of course he's already detected into light cav, so he wants to do Farimba light cav later on, that's always a thing. I think he's in a good position. The only problem with Malians is the lack of ranged units, which might be Saracen's slight advantage over them. I think if Dobbs opens something maybe like booms into Cavalier, then he's free to go options like Champion, really, that kind of thing. If he tries to pull that kind of thing off, then I think it's gonna work. The only thing that could really beat a lot of the Malian options would be something like Saracens going hand cannoneers, monks. Things that could be beaten by mass enough cavalry. I mean, if he makes monks to try and beat Castle Age Knights that will transition into Cavalier, then of course the Malian player can always just add the champions, because champions, they're worth converting, but it's not a huge bonus. If you have a really strong economy, like you've 3 TC boon for a while, you've got 80 villagers, then it's quite easy for you to just do something like mass enough champions to beat, you know, 20 monks. Five monks, and that is very easy pickings if Dobbs decides to gather his light cav. It's definitely enough light cav to just come over here and clean them up when Terror's not looking. Just have a quick double check, because you're supposed to get a enter message. Oh yeah, come on, you're already in the giveaway. It said, I told you. No way did Terror get atonement. He got atonement. Oh wow. Dobbs can add maybe 2 light cav? Yeah, if he has 2 light cav, this will be enough to just combine and swipe these guys out. Oh, but the problem is that light cav's in range, but Terror didn't notice. Terror noticed, he would have already had some charge up on that monk, could have switched to light cav and pretty easily got the conversion. I think as long as Terror does not notice now, Terror notices this could be a problem. These light cav really have to attack properly, and they are attacking really well. And yeah, that's Terror's forward gone. Siege Workshop not even done. GG called for Terror. Economy wise, Terror was ahead in economy, but the thing is, late game towards the Saracens, he's gonna have a little bit of an issue. I mean, how much relics are we looking at? We're looking at 3 relics towards Terror's. Did Terror even grab one? Where are the relics then? Oh, of course, there's one right there. And I do not see the other one. I only see the 4 relics, including this one. Oh well. But yeah, having a big relic lead against the Saracens is something you definitely need when you have really good cavalry and camels. Even if your camels are inferior to Saracens after Zealotry, then it's still going to be really strong. So to update the score, Dobbs is the bottom one. And we're just going to go right into the next game after the achievements. I set this up so it fits the screen, but obviously it's going to be a bit stretched, so sorry about that. Villager High Terror? Yeah, Villager High, but Dobbs already a few hundred gold ahead, and considering the amount of monks that Terror lost early on and then lost later on, that's a lot of gold. Probably lost 1k gold in monks alone with only converting a couple of light cav and making Dobbs delete 1 monk. Let's not talk about those builds. Those were something else. Nothing too special. Yeah, Terror losing a lot of units, and Dobbs only losing the one to the convert. He did delete one. I'm not sure why that's not showing up as unit lost. I thought it always did, but... Let's hop into game number 2. I need to get more beer. Just get this quick restart. And there we go. This is game number 2 of the best of 7 of Dobbs vs Terror, aka JonSlow. Let's switch back to the map view. We have Mongols vs Burmese. I actually do quite enjoy the Mongols in this matchup simply because of the cavalry archers. You could always open with a range. 2 ways you could easily counter monks if you're expecting one is to open scouts, or you can open cavalry not cavalry archers, but archers and then go crossbows. Of course, if you have 10 crossbows with bodkin, it's actually quite hard to mass the amount of monks you need for that if there's enough archers on the map early on to stop you getting a forward for your monasteries. And with monks kind of out of the equation, it's really easy for Mongols to open scouts, especially archers. But they could also go cavalry archers, make archers on the way up, and if someone's, for example, going iron by as Burmese, they could just make cavalry archers. Cav arch are one of the best ways I find for countering iron by. Iron by in the Castle Age, of course, they only have the one armor upgrade, which is padded archer armor. Burmese don't have access to the other 2. And that's pretty much it. You can really quite easily counter iron by with cavalry archers, because as soon as you just get husbandry on your cav arch, of course you can get on your iron by as well, but on your cav arch you can really chase around the map. Iron by can't do too much, they kind of die to their pierce. Now you could always micro quite well with the cavalry archers with a lot of hit and run to try and avoid the inaccurate iron by. If you start picking them off when they're in small numbers, then it gets quite easy to start beating them. I do prefer Mongols in this matchup, but the Burmese, they do have their strengths. Mongols, of course, it can definitely die to things like Fast Imp Monk Treb, which is something I'd pull off as Burmese simply because I don't like playing them. And it's kind of my cheat sheet way to win. Doesn't mean the most fun games, but it's a way to win. Mongols, of course, can trush. I am not sure these guys are going to trush. They know I don't like to see trushing in my games, which is why I made the map for the tournament, which did not have trushing, essentially. And yeah, it worked out really well. We had a lot of fun games to watch in that. But I'm thinking maybe we might see trush. This is Mongols after all, I get up really fast. He's against Burmese. Terror's micro when it comes to things like archers, cavalry archers especially. We're not going to see anything impressive, so he might want a cheap way out. Please don't, please don't. I actually thought he was going to do it there, let a while back. Terror's map here is the Mongols. You probably want to focus a bit on stone. So thinking about stone, that could be denied if the Burmese player decides to go for a very fast upper rush strategy. Not much actually, the main stone is really safe, the second stone is outside. Not so good. These deer, a little bit on the risky side. I don't think he really wants to take a scout fight here at all. And these are going to be a pain in the ass to push, but if he manages it, yeah, that's really impressive from Terror. That's some really impressive deer pushing. Wow. Genuinely did not expect that at all. Simple house here, and he screws himself a little bit of the map. Just a little bit of extra room though, and nothing actually in the way of, you know, mines. He has decently safe gold though. This one could be very safe if we walled off here. And second gold in the back, always nice. A little bit of area, but not too much. You could definitely have bigger back areas with a lot more room to boom than this. Second golds, one of them's outside. Extra gold, extra stone. I only see one extra gold on the map. Oh no, both here in the same location. Kind of between the players, so that's pretty fair. No complaints, just the extra stone's a little bit closer to Terror, which as the Mongols might be a little bit more important. Over here, Dobbs, bad main gold, bad seconds even, and we know both extras are there, so these are his only golds. Having golds this bad when you're expecting possibly a trush from the Mongol player, that's really risky. So what are we going to see then from Dobbs with the safe main stone? 4 on stone, probably not a trush. Of course, Mongols will always be up fast enough, they could always do things about it. Probably some kind of 26, 27 plus 2, just maybe double monasteries in opening. Try and get some of those relics. Terror, I rarely ever see the get like half. I've seen him maybe do it once. I have seen him go scouts though quite a lot of times. Okay, Terror is going for some 27 plus 2. Not bad, 3 on stone, obviously easy castle. Is he going to try and get it forward though? He does not have a lot on wood. Oh, he decided to put all these guys in stragglers for no apparent reason. But for 27 plus 2, as the Turks, not the Mongols, but it'd be a lot easier to do as the Mongols. Drakont has this really nice build. 27 plus 2, he opens with a blacksmith and stable in his feudal age. And then as he goes up to castle age, from a 27 plus 2, he makes scouts on the way up. Which obviously turns free light cav. And having light cav plus 1 spear going forward with your villagers, you pretty much guarantee a castle going up. It is pretty crazy, it's a really tight build, but then he manages it so perfectly in the castle age. I'm still impressed by it to this day. So Terror's probably going to... He might even just open with the Mangadai, because of course Mangadai, similar to cavalry archers, they definitely do beat arm bite from my experience. So I think we're okay with that. Dobbs up in pretty fast with his 26 plus 2. Opening with a stable. Interesting wall in position here. He's just gonna go scouts. As Burmese, it's a little bit of an odd move. Are you really expecting a forward castle from the Mongol player? I'm not entirely sure about that. So let me just mute Skype in the background. I'm not even sure why it's even on. There we go. So yeah, while we're just waiting for these players up to castle age, I'd like to reiterate again. Type !! raffle to join a 3-month raffle for 3 months of Vibly Platinum. I'm only giving away one this stream, but if we reach 100 viewers, we could easily add another one to that. And if we reach maybe 50 viewers, I might throw in an extra gold as well. Just so we could have a couple of different winners. If you subscribe, you have 3 times the chances of winning. And Dobbs getting housed, that makes me so sad to see. But yeah, just Terror already behind it hits and he doesn't even have multiple scouts. But yeah, exclamation mark raffle. Platinum has a lot of extra features over even silver, so if you have silver you could easily get an upgrade. Or you could just do an exchange to have an extension on your current premium. So there's really no problems with... Oh, is he gonna fall in the scout trap? No. But yeah, there's really no issues with entering the raffle if you want to. I'm trying to speak and drink beer at the same time. It's a very multitasking approach to watching Age of Empires 2. Only 2 on gold? That's a little bit low. Yeah, I do feel he is a little bit low on the old gold, but he is another 2C. He could easily add another one somewhat soon. If he did 28 plus 2, you'd have one out by now. He'd still have the same map control he has now. One thing I'm really not sure about this one with Dobbs is why he would go scouts. At the end of the stream, I will just do the random drawing on the chatbot and it will pick a winner. If you're here, then I will message you privately and ask for your Vibly profile, and we'll just stick on there within 48 hours. It's usually how it goes. Dobbs might be able to get close relics. I think that's his main hope. Going scouts just to aim for the close relics though is really not a good way of looking at it. Oh, I think Dobbs wanted to hold the gate open, but that would be quite bad as well. Terror didn't wall this off though, so maybe. Secured his main gold. Stone is going to get absolutely shanked though if he does it, and the wood line can kind of be reached around here, but he does still have safe lumber camp here. Yeah, it's curious to go scouts and then proceed not to make fullest extent of having map control. Does Dobbs know about the Magadai yet? No. Terror around 2 TCs, sort of steadily. At the same time as making Iron Buy, which is of course quite a nice thing to have. I think Terror, of course he has a lot more investment, so he does want to actually start killing the light cap now. And one light cap getting converted even. 1 converted, 2 dying, 3 dying even. He really should have ran those off. He would be able to come around and snipe monks again in the future. I think now Terra's focused on trying to secure this relic. If he can, then these 2 are easier picks for him. Then he'll at least have a slight advantage in the relic war. Not entirely sure why he went 2 TC though, because 2 TC is even 3 TC. Booming when you invest in Mangadai. Mangadai is a huge investment. It really slows you down early on to just even open Mangadai, so you're kind of aiming to go aggressive. So I'm not entirely sure why he's going for such low aggression. Going Mangadai's map control is 650 stone as an investment to start. But I mean, what is Terror scouting? Terror knows about the 2-second golds. He does not know about the main gold, just. Does not know about the extra golds. I remember talking with Terror about this in the past. He doesn't actually know how many golds are on Arena. Like, if he scouts the main gold, 2-second golds, and both extra golds he knows are on the outside of the map, then he still doesn't know there's absolutely no way there's any other golds in the back of this player's base. I mean, maybe he learned when I told him about it, but... Oh, Terror hijacking the light cap. He's gonna see the monk. He's gonna miss and walk right past the monk. He must have tasted it down there manually. And just... Terror. Seeing 4th TC coming up for the Burmese player. This is going to be one hell of a boom he's got going on here. Dobbs is 7 villagers ahead. 7 villagers ahead at this point. I mean, it's decent. If you're 4th TC and you're 7 villagers ahead at 23 minutes, you're still going to be clicking up maybe a minute later than a player that's 3 TC booming. But of course Terror did of course go for the Mangadai opening. Still no fletching, which these Mangadai are passing the gate and such, so I'm assuming that Dobbs is checking and making sure they don't have fletching, seeing that he's probably not going to go aggressive. That might be the reason why he added the extra TC, thought he could get away with it a little bit riskier. He did get Loom as a bit of a precaution. Handcart now coming in though, he has a decent bit of farms over here, talking about Dobbs. 30 farmers, he wants to really increase that number to towards the 40 mark with Handcart to be able to click up with Burmese trying to boom this kind of an economy with 4 TCs. That's what I would usually look for. Terror still on the 3 TCs is not an extra one to try and catch up supposed eco. And Dobbs is trying to secure himself a little bit of extra back area. I suppose that's fine because where can you really add farms here? You could add them around here a little bit at risk, of course, the Mangadai. And here is definitely not good for the Mangadai. Terror's going to build the castle, I'm hoping forward. Not quite forward. I mean, he could easily take the second gold with this new castle, so I guess that's okay. He does secure himself a little bit of extra gold. He has enough in the back already. But I definitely feel like he really invested that part. He could have gone aggressive. He knows about this TC. He could easily castle this TC. He knows about the main gold now. He really should be seeing this gold and say he could really get a ballsy castle up here, and there's nothing that Dobbs could really do to stop it when there's Mangadai around. A Bile Elephant would be good if this castle goes up, especially. Oh, but the lack of fletching here, just making that impossible. Terror should know. You should know when there's a 4 gap here. It's either going to be a gate or a castle, and you should be anticipating it forward. He sees the castle. He could deny it, but he does not have fletching. He's still not getting fletching. He could easily set a range of this TC as soon as he gets fletching, but he's just going to let it go up. Or is he just going to try and keep baiting? Lots of food, easily get... He could easily choke to death like I just did. Finally starting to get fletching. You should be able to get Bodkin now. With Bodkin, this castle is not going to go up. I need to get a little bit more... a bit more beer. I was going to say I need a bit more Bodkin arrow. Terror is probably not looking at this, but he's like an extra 2 tiles out of range. Just sit in range already. No. What? Maybe he's just going to keep trying to bully the spot, but the thing is, this can easily be vill rushed by 10 villagers. Dobbs might lose one, but you get the castle up easily. Just dead. Mangadai, really. I think Terror really could afford to pay a little bit more attention to this. Skirmishers coming up for the Burmese. Burmese skirmishers are absolutely disgraceful. They only have the 1 archer armor. Mangadai really destroy them. So, you know. Not entirely sure what the deal with that is. Dobbs can now take this gold somewhat safely though. I mean, again, well, he does have Bodkin arrow. He is going into skirmishers, of course. Chemistry make those skirmishers essentially as fully upgraded as Burmese skirmishers can get. Okay, like Cav casually down to the skirms. The Mangadai have soon to be Bracer. They already have Bodkin. Terror is going to go for Onager, which is, of course is going to be quite a good counter. These are not expensive units though. Please tell me these are stables. They are stables. Good. Bloodlines, Husbandry, Skill Mill Armor. This is really investment. He's not going to go like Cav, is he? Oh god, is he going to go like Cav actually? It just dawned on me that's something that Dobbs would do. He's one of these players that just adds in light cav with every single combination. Like they're the god's gift of trash. Despite having some of the best halbs, you could easily just... Cavalier! Dobbs has the gold, and instead of light cav he goes Cavalier, like no other smart player seems to be doing these days. If you have gold, don't go light cav, don't float 3k gold, go Cavalier. It will win you the game. Sure, you might want to save gold for later, but if you're not going to be winning it now, when you can't do if you go Cavalier, then you're just throwing the game. Andre here though, of course, really strong. Terror only now getting handcart, but no siege engineers coming in. Of course, no SO. I mean, that's just going to go down. I do like the position that Terror's in. Dobbs losing a lot of skirts for nothing there, but of course they are cheap. They're worth basically nothing. No chemistry for Terror. No elite Magadai either. Missing an archer armor upgrade. Those can pretty easily melt to the Cavalier. I know he has bloodlines, but I do not think he has husbandry. I might be wrong though. No, he doesn't have husbandry yet. Just because I didn't see it doesn't mean it didn't happen, but in this case that is the case. A lot less food than gold, so you might as well just be spending on Cavalier. Don't forget, type exclamation mark raffle to enter the giveaway. He's queuing up occasional skirms. I mean, this is his resources. Finally now making some Cavalier. This is probably multi queue, at least we could hope it is. Dobbs getting the final Cavalier armor upgrade, so they're going to be fully upgraded except attack upgrades, I believe. Yeah, he didn't get a single one yet. Too bad it's not too much situations if Tree can help, but of course adding mass halberdiers in would actually be quite beneficial. I always do like halberdiers. They only need to get even slightly close to the Mangadai to be able to do some significant damage. The siege, of course, not good counters for the halberdiers either, but the extra +3 attack they have over generic halberdiers, they can be really, really strong. No one is even looking at this. This is just happening. Like, this is how the game should be played. No one actually looking at their units, just let them fight on their own. I absolutely love it. Bit surprised the not more skirms died to one launcher though, but I guess just letting them fight by themselves, they were a bit more spread out than any sort of formation would be. Lots of Cavalier. Terror has no idea. Actually, what's Terror scouting of these stables? Not a clue. Lots of Cavalier coming out. Elite Mangadai finally? Oh, but that's just gonna get wrecked. Terror's gonna lose his Mangadai here even as well. If I didn't have to cough, that would be a little more impressive, but yeah. All the launches going to go down. The Mangadai could easily go down here as well. Dobbs might choose to pull out because he's not going to fight under a castle. But there just goes the siege. And then what? Cannot do anything about the skirms if his archers keep getting sniped. No drill, no siege engineers yet. Just straight dead units. Dobbs only has to sort of keep this position while he can trip down the castles if the castles go down. Then Terror just can't make Mangadai, and then what's he stuck with? Making light cav against Cavalier? Well, Hussar rather. Castle is definitely going to go down here. Dobbs is not giving a shit. The skirms are getting absolutely massacred by the castle because of the lack of armor upgrades, but as long as they're getting shot at, then the Mangadai can't get past them until they're all dead. Terror calling the GG. There's no way he can keep that castle alive at this point, and he's only got one castle making Mangadai. He has the stone almost for another castle, but he's... I think his main stone mine was there, if I'm not mistaken. It must have been. Yeah. His extra stone was outside and denied, and the extra on the map was not viable. So he'd have to buy stone just to make a third castle, and when this one goes down, 2 castles making Mangadai cannot beat a lot of civs, even with pretty basic units like 1 armor upgrade skirmishers. So we're going to have a 3-minute intermission here. So I'm just going to cram back on the music, and I'll see you all in a few minutes. All the beer. I updated the score. We are looking at Terror 0, Dobbs 2. This is best of 7, so the first player to 4 wins will of course win the series. Terror could easily make a comeback. Quickly jumping into game number 3 here. Oh, that Chinese house. Terror immediately getting sheep under his TC as the Chinese. That is not too bad of a start. That's not a bad start at all. I guess you got quite lucky with the sheep there. This is normal arena, so of course you don't start with the sheep in your possession like some other versions do. Oh, and that gate being blocked, that is unfortunate for Terror. That means the sheep's going to have to walk quite a long way, especially to the front of his base next to Dobbs. I never like those easily to be lamed. So we have Chinese vs the Japanese. Japanese, of course, being a very fast, very versatile civ. Whereas we have the Chinese, which are very slow start. They do take a little while to come into their own, but of course when they start booming, and of course when they start researching technologies for things a little bit later on, then of course we have a lot of strength there towards the later game, but towards the earlier game, not as strong. So the Japanese definitely do have an advantage in a very close matchup like this, where the Japanese can be very aggressive quite early and quite easily. This is clearly 900 elo, or of course it's currently Dobbs as 2075 elo and Terror as 2013. I think we're going to see Terror drop to below 2k if he loses another match. That's going to be quite fun to see. Looking at Japanese map, of course, you could smash really fast, you could do a lot of things, you could even go infantry towards the late game to try and beat the Chinese. Of course, you're looking at Chinese, they have various options like the Chukano and Arblast even, that can easily counter infantry. They even have quite good cavalry. Just in case they want to VS something like champions. You do have the hand cannoneer as the Japanese, but of course not a lot of people are really going to be making anything against any infantry against the Japanese. Japanese wars are basically just mass hand cannoneer fights at that point, but we haven't seen a good mirror matchup in a long time since AOC days. And of course back then Japanese didn't have bloodlines, which is quite important. Chinese do have camels, so Japanese player might not want to open with a scout, transition into cavalry for the later game to try and pressure at first. Of course, if you're Japanese, you might want to make your opponent try and make pikemen halberdier, because then of course your champions will just so easily clean them up, or even your own helps will beat them. Japanese siege engineers on their onagers, they even have the faster packing and unpacking trips, which I have seen come into play quite a bit. They could easily 1TC push this. You know, maybe 2 monastery siege workshop, maybe even triple monastery smush. Very, very fast up smush as well, 22+2, those kind of build orders. They could easily win this match from here. And having a quick look, might as well talk about Masterware here, but Terror does not have any stone, no guard towers or anything easily to defend early. Might even be very hard for him to get a castle. Japanese player can trush. Japanese player can smush very fast, and these stones would be a big problem. Looking at Terror's map, he has no back base whatsoever. He has I suppose that counts as towards the back of a second gold, but it's pretty bad. Main gold, I guess that's pretty good actually for a main gold. Where's his other gold? Second gold out there, not ideal. One second. Alright, I'm back. Having a look at Dobbs' map. Dobbs has a really nice main... Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, calm down, Dobbs. Calm down. Extra gold in the back, second gold in the back, main gold in the back, all very, very safe. A safe main stone. I mean, this stone, the second gold, only flaws really, he has a lot of gold back. And his biggest pile of stone, of course, towards the back and safe. It's going on gold really, really early though. Not entirely sure what the plan is here if he's going gold this early. Maybe he might be considering going archers. Would he go archers? I think something that might even be key here, if this goes very, very late game, is bomber towers for the Chinese is probably the strongest option they have against the Japanese anti-archer options. Of course, Japanese have very, very good skirmishers. Chinese do have, you know, siege ram, which is also very, very good. bomber towers to counter launchers. Those can quite easily get killed by the Yusama trebs, Kataburuto trebs. And of course, Yusama keeps might even come into play, as Joshua mentioned. They are really expensive to get up and running. It's something that just happens in the late game as you really get into it, but you can't just like boom into Yusama keeps, that is impossible. It's just, you'll always get wrecked before then. Dobbs must be going for archers, otherwise he wouldn't be going on gold this early. Unless he wants to buy 100 food and sell 100 wood or something. That might be a thing. But it'd be a little bit of a strange way of doing things. He ends up in the worst part of the deal there, I think. Terror is Chinese and he's probably... I want to say he's going to open scouts as a generic opening, but he might even just open archers. 2 on gold though, I think he does know a little bit better. Might add an extra 1 on gold if he wanted to go archers. Unless he plans to do some sort of siege tower action, but maybe not. Dobbs is up, he has a lot of wood. Of course, why would you build a... He's going to stable blacksmith, okay. Something you could do is you don't actually need a blacksmith, so you could easily just do a market instead. So that's not the end of the world if he did that and then sold, but I'm not entirely sure why he's going for this much gold if he's just going for scouts. He also has, what, 7 on food, and he has to somehow get 70 food. I just don't understand this down here. If you want scouts, you don't need a siege workshop for quite a long time. You'll probably want to just add a TC first after your monastery. You get to the point where it's like maybe 21 minutes, 22 minutes where you add your first forward siege workshop if you own full map control, make full use of it. Scouts for both players. I think Japanese can win this one quite easily. I mean, of course you can make camels as the Chinese, but this just get converted by monks. It's not something you really want to do. Hello Yurak, how's it going? I'm not entirely sure I'm pronouncing that right, but can care less actually. But only 2 on gold again from Terror. I'm not entirely sure why he's doing this. I'm also wondering if he's got to compensate for the fact he got loom. The reason I never get loom is because I always forgot to keep compensating for it as Chinese and mines. Also, I personally just love the sound of being housed at the start of the game as mines. Dobbs now adding farms. I don't think he could win doing this build really. It's a little bit janky and going to guess because Chinese. He's slightly over a vil faster to Castle Age, but he is 2 vils behind. And of course the Chinese player does have a loom as well, which is actually a little bit of an advantage if he does want to get forward, if he does take the map control. I mean, I consider that main gold quite good. Having no backspace is one of the worst things though, just simply because I need a lot of farm space. He could wall this off. I would consider walling that one off, especially if I do go in stone early. I would probably go scouts to secure this map area. As Chinese though, I probably consider archers because this is quite close. Archers work a little bit better if you're closer, and scouts work a bit better if you're further away. So I would probably go archers now, TC this, keep the stone secure. Dobbs is ahead in the scout fight here. Oh, except he's suddenly going to lose if he does not notice. He pulls away in time. Neither player researching light calf, except Terra can afford it. So yeah, Terra gets it. He can afford it. Dobbs now has a slight advantage in scout numbers. Of course, both have 4, but Terra has one a bit more injured than the other. But then he gets a few free hits. But it's on stand ground apparently. He's going to pull back a little bit, he's going to wait until he gets light cav. He should turn back and fight now. No, didn't take it. Dobbs no light cav. In fact, he's just spending his food on villagers, so He could probably just heal his scouts, take a few engagements, run back and heal, but I think Terror has a good chance of taking up at least 1 or 2 relics by then. This one's such in favour of Dobbs though, so I think Dobbs is at least going to get 1 or 2. Ooh, but Dobbs is just going to straight up get that one. Of course he's going to get relics if you let him have them for free. Terror and 1 TC. I know Wood, not exactly ideal. He can save resources on Lumber Camp, I guess. Limits farm space a little bit. 3 TCs, okay. Just added a little bit of a boom. Dobbs is only on 2 TCs. Ah, he's going up 3 TCs actually. Villager wise, Terror is still 2 villagers ahead. He is Chinese. This is going towards the late game. Both players are booming. I do like the Chinese late game just simply because of the steamroll. I think the sea drums might be kind of key. Any ranged unit plus probably sea drums is probably a bit of advantage for Terror. Terror can just easily snipe that monk now. Sure, he loses 2 light caps. Oh, but then Dobbs. Oh, Dobbs had some kind of advantage. He's gonna run with this one, then he's gonna snipe the monk here. And then his monk's gonna get sniped. Oh, Dobbs. Losing that advantage you had by throwing away all your light cav for not a single kill and 2 monks in the process. That's an expensive trade. Of course, Dobbs does have 2 relics and Terror did have to fight quite hard to just get the other 3. He now has a couple of light cav in this base, so 3 even. You might even consider bringing a monk here to just heal these guys. And assuming Dobbs didn't finish off this wall, which looks like he's going to, Terror could have a bit of a raid. Oh, he isn't. Oh, that's really bad for Dobbs. I mean, that's 1 villager down off the bat. Oh, quick wall. And then not noticing. I don't think Japanese have much of an archer weakness. I mean, their Cavalier is very, very good. So of course you can't really fault Cavalier as a counter towards, you know, Arblast. They have 100 siege engineers, but to be fair, a lot of cities have 100 siege engineers. Blue Grid skirmishers as well as the Japanese. I think maybe their gold units are a little bit towards weak as archers. Their counters for Japanese counters for things like Arblast or maybe even Chokanu in this case. They're far from ideal as strong pushing units, and then their strong units to push are things like, you know, Samurai. Samurai can be extremely strong in the right circumstances. Champion, Halberdier. Maybe not exactly ideal units. I think if the Chinese player plays this right, he could definitely get a good win. Camels is definitely a nice addition to having here against the Japanese. They have to make Halberdier. If you can make them do that against archers, sure. But of course, vice versa, you can say if they're making Camel, then you can just make Halbs as Japanese, so that's an easy win as well. Position both players are in. Terror is only 2 villagers ahead, which is pretty shocking, considering he went like straight into this, but yeah, he definitely had a nice little bit of advantage. He got a couple of villa kills here. He definitely sniped a lot of light cav. He even owns the map right now, so finding a lot of stone, he could easily get forward castle if he wants to. Did he scout too much? He scouted the main stone, he did not scout any of the golds. But maybe looking at the map, he could assume he does have some inside golds with the second gold here and nothing else. Market coming up for Terror, he needs to balance his economy. 3 relics though, I wouldn't really consider a market to balance that. If you have 5 relics, then you can quite easily, you know, build a market and then just buy some food, click up, and you could really rely on using a market for a while when you have 5 relics. The score is up in the scoreboard, but also you could do the command ! score, and it's tied to the scoreboard, so as soon as the scoreboard updates, that updates to that command. So if you can't watch for some reason, some people have issues watching higher bit rates, there's always the commands. Both had their own forms of outpost. Let's see, Terror's getting atonement just because there's one single monk there. What? What is he expecting? Heavy play from Dobbs, that's quite an elongated castle age. Terror should really cancel atonement. Nope. 300 gold down the drain. Terror has decent outposts here though. Quite a lot of scouting. He could even see the forward relics. You can see the archer range coming up. He could expect skirmishers. The castle is going to go up, and Dobbs can't scout that. Of course, he doesn't have time watch. Time watch is a really important upgrade to get for a very, very low cost. So I think it's usually worth getting time watch in my opinion. But of course, that's just my opinion. I usually get it after clicking up the imp though. Terror is going to be first to imp. We see crossbowman coming out for Dobbs. Dobbs wants to go for the ranged line as Japanese, which skirmishers I can understand, but Arbalast is it's a bit curious. I guess the Chinese, you've not had as much of a advantage if you just boom against the Chinese into ranged units. Treb coming out, Mangonel's coming out, he's going to go for a decent amount of siege. I would expect maybe siege ram from Terror. Probably just going to go for a Treb and then... He should definitely be using the Mangonels to kill the wall. He could easily get in there, use the monk. Send the light cav. A bracer coming out for Terror, he's going to focus on Chokanu apparently. He just wants to get the Trebs out though, no Chokanu at all so far. Not entirely sure how that monk died, there was no crossbows nearby when Terror converted it. Onager from Terror as the Chinese. I guess that's definitely good thinking against things like skirmishers, but of course Japanese do have better Onager. He was later to Imperial Age though, so of course having better Onager is not going to happen if you don't have them in time. I'll probably be doing this more often, giving players prizes for playing things like play 5 matches total or best of 7s, that kind of thing, just doing it so I could then stream it. Of course I'll make sure it's they send me the records, they don't have it ranked so no one else can see. I'm interested in making some unique matches like that, and there are Arbalasts. And that's the thing actually, Terror has no actual units. If these Onagers go down, the light cabs go down, and then every other unit here goes down. But the Arbalast took a big hit. That's not good. Bad castle here from Dobbs. Dobbs is going to just try and make his own Trebs, I guess. Doesn't really have enough Arbalast to do too much effect here. There's a lot of Onagers. Terror against conscription. He's still not adding a single of his own units at this point. I want to see Chokanu, I want to see Arbalast. I want to see the reason he got Bracer. No ranges, no stables, not making any units here, lots of food, he has a market. Decent gold income. He's even repairing Onagers with Arbalast getting them, and now he's sending them to the castle, so that army's just going to disappear. He's just adding more Trebs, he's not even bothering to add in units. A few monks, but mostly just full siege. And that's going to work, I think. Chinese going full Onager and working against Japanese with siege engineers. Terror laming and extra gold on the map. Okay. That's interesting. Please tell me Chokunu now. I want to see some units that protect these traps from getting run down by 10 Cavalier. But no. Oh, not even chemistry for Dobbs. That would have really helped in the snipe against the onagers earlier. But oh well, it looks like we have a win for Terror. At least I'm not going to see a clean sweep after all. Question is, what is going to be the final score? So I haven't finished this beard yet, so I could easily go on to the next game. Terror with a monumental villager high of 109. Only 7 more, but still kind of important. More relics, more relic gold. No, Dobbs having a little bit more gold collected in the end even, but Terror did have the better boom. He was a couple of villagers ahead. And of course, when he did break in, he did delay some villagers, kill some villagers, so of course Dobbs was not able to keep up with that. A lot more units killed Terror. Just avoid spoilers again, let's go back to the screen. Quick restart. Here we are in game number 4. We've seen Dobbs vs Terror in 3 games, and Dobbs has won 2, Terror won the last one. Well, when Terror had 15 in our blast, which I'm assuming is the biggest group he had, was at the start, he definitely was at a slight advantage. Because of course there's only like 2 oranges at that point he was sniping. Terror has gotten up to 2031 elo at this point, so he's not going to drop below 2k that easily. Dobbs now has the Saracens, so kind of a exchange of what we had before against the Magyars, which Terror now has. What was it before? Malians? Malians is a far stronger civ than the Magyars in my opinion, so I think maybe Saracens might have a slightly better chance. But of course, Saracens is still quite low in the tier list simply because it does have a great late game tech tree, and if you get towards the late game, you do have some really nice options, especially against the cavalry civ like the Magyars. Magyars do have halbs, but you still have quite exceptional anti-cavalry options like your Ziltri camels. Not really going to mention Mamluks too easily because they're quite weak to the halbs. That's been a big portion of the discussion lately. Saracens have been weak because Mamluks, for example, die too easily to halbs and need a bit of a buff. Kind of a similar discussion to the Portuguese. He sits without major economy bonuses are quite low tier because in exchange for their economy bonuses they're supposed to have great tech trees and units that they just don't have the economy to really get to easily. But if they can, they win. And Saracens is kind of missing out with Mamluk not being as strong as it was in AOC. Seems to be a general discussion anyway. That's quite a far woodline there from Dobbs. I'm very glad we haven't witnessed a 2-hour scrum war. That's a... I mean, that game from the... was it the semi-finals? I can't remember what game it was when Melkor went into a... No, it could have been the finals. Was it against Finch? Yes, it was. I remember interviewing him about it. I've been live for 1 hour and 15 minutes, and that is still... If I started that game at the start of this series, which I'm now in the 4th game of, then I still wouldn't be done casting that one single game. It's... that game is insane. I give up. I think Melkor was Teuton's one game where he did go skirmishes. I think it was the finals. I don't remember Frank C.S. Mine's long-term skirmer. I know there was a second one at some point. I think that could have been one. Anyway, let's actually talk about this game rather than just rambling some random shite, because that's what we usually end up doing. Terror, Magyars, main gold really nice, second gold really nice, another second gold extremely nice. Terror has some really good golds this game. Stone's pretty poor, I guess the Saracens. I mean, Saracens can always have things like siege armor, or even late game. Those can be decently strong, especially against things like the Magyar Heavy Cav Arch. So it could be kind of important to have stone to have the Magyar Hussar. It is a very good, partially underused unit, I feel. But we do see it from time to time in top level games. Looking over here, Dobbs does have a... As Saracens, having a main stone is not too important. Maybe you wanted to Trush, sure, but they're very, very far away, so Trush is probably not going to happen this game. So here we have safe main stone, main gold very safe, second gold very, very safe. 1 second gold outside. Let's have a quick look for the extras. 1 extra here, 1 extra here. Again, pretty balanced, evenly between the players. Dobbs is getting loom. Is Dobbs going to Trush? Dobbs is... He would Trush if he didn't have 300 food. Why does he have only 300 food? What the fuck? What? What has he been doing that only gives him 300 food at this point of... What? Okay, this idle time has given me HIV, I'm not gonna lie. 10:05 castle time, that's a solid 2 villagers of idle time. Absolutely love it, Dobbs, that is phenomenal. Going to Trush the Saracens against the Magyars is a little bit of an odd one, of course. Magyars do have going scouts as a really strong form of map control. They could even go CA if they wanted to, but it might be a bit weak. No eco bonus at the same time as Cav Arch not having a discount, for example, like Huns. It's just not going to be great. They do only have the benefit later on. So my worry with this one is that I don't really know. Because of course, Terror's not going for a very fast up, so he's going to have a little bit of a problem here, especially with no stone access. Did Dobbs manage to scout that? Yes, Dobbs did scout that. His plan does appear to be some form of tower hop here. At least that's what he's probably going to hope for. You might as well at least go for it, and if they don't manage to wall you out in time, then you could hop through. If they do, then you could just act as if it's normal Trush and kill down the wall anyway. Turret upping at 27 pop. No loom, it doesn't appear he's expecting the Trush. Send a scout forward though, he's now going to see this market coming up. Oof. Edler, if you want to PS me on Arena, then you can freely do so. Terror is doing some insane walling here, but having no access to stone when you're getting trashed, it's quite expensive. In terms of just trying to get yourself to Castle Age without access to stone. You need at least, you know, maybe 2 defensive towers is very, very good. 1 defensive tower might be able to hold an area here, for example, or here, but it can't really hold both. Is he going to try to tower that? Oh, oh no. Oh, he deleted himself. Very good. Got a bit scared there. Magyar Hussars are basically like Castle Age Knights that are fully upgraded. Oh, stonewalling this and then probably towering here. That's a smart enough idea. Yeah, I like Terror's move here. Stonewalling is always nice. Of course, you only have 200 stone. 75 divided by 5 is... feck it, I don't do maths. 15? Yeah, I'm assuming 15. Tiles a stone wall. That's definitely enough to wall off a section and then just tower the rest. Gate maybe being a bit expensive, but he's going to be able to protect this area at least. Is that tower in range of that tower after fletching though? That means the tower's probably going to have to get fletching to sort that. And it looks like... Is Dobbs just bailing on the Trush now before it even starts? I don't know. Looking at stats, I would say there are Castle Age Knights that are fully upgraded rather than Cavalier. But they're still very, very nice regardless, especially for being gold free. Mercenaries is not that expensive. What's if I'm even thinking on my gears here? Just double check the cost of that. Yeah, 250, 300 gold, that's what, 5 nights or something worth. 4 or 5 nights anyway, 4. Yeah, so I don't know why I have this strange notion that nights are 60 gold. It's something that's been stuck in my head for a while now, but I don't really know why. 4 nights. Definitely worth buying. Dobbs has quite a lot of food. Buying some food, selling stone. He went quite heavy on stone to do the trush. He has Saracens, he does a better market for buying and selling even. Now he's just going to take the stone and try to sell his way up. I think Magyar Hussars for basically no gold are still worth it anyway without the tech, but the tech is definitely worth getting a hold of anyway. Most night armies that are game ending tend to be over 30 anyway. That is, like, trush into a sub 19 minute castle age is very, very nice. That's just showing the strength of the going trush as the Saracens and then abusing the market. What's he going to do when he's up though? He has 5 villagers of stone here and 2 here. 7 going up to castle age. Come on, stone. He has very much no eco. He could easily drop castle if he wanted to. But of course, Magyar player can just boom. Magyar player's now up. He's sub 20 minute castle age. I mean, defending against a trush this heavily, that was like a 5 villager commitment. It still paid off for him. He wanted to go scouts, but it looks like he's just going to be going double stable knights. Kind of a problem if we're going to assume that he's going to be against maybe something like monks. Saracen player can always go for monks if they've denied both stones. Of course, they only have 1 tower, no stone to make another tower, so can't use that as a defense against monks now, can they? Could also go camels if he wanted to, but his economy is pretty weak. Very little in the way of food economy. Just to go on, very full. And basically no gold economy. So I think maybe monks might be the situation here. Either that he's going to go some sort of either fully into siege, but he could just go for a smash. He has a lot of wood. He might consider guard tower and a TC. Those villagers are definitely at risk. I don't know why he's keeping them here knowing that the Magyar player is probably going to go knights. Unless he wants to just go for a monastery at home and then pick the relics up. No, Dobbs is going for the 3 TC boom. He's going to be ahead in economy of the Magyar player massively at this point. I'm not entirely sure why he's going for the economy. I mean, he is going for the stronger late game, which of course Saracens do have against a lot of civs because they are a take tree heavy civ rather than a economy heavy civ. Siege Workshop now coming up for terror. He's going to have to make an investment even in Castle Age just to try and counter this. Yeah, lots of nice queued. And he is bailing even. Dobbs definitely took a lot of gold from Terror's extra mine here. And he gets home before the knights even catch up to the villagers. That is really, really nice. Monster coming up as well. He could even go get the relics because of course the knights can just easily be converted. Scout not even injured, whereas Terror Scout is injured. Bit stronger though, but I think Terra's prematurely getting bloodlines here. 4 knights for both bloodlines and +1 defense. It's a little bit extreme. Unless he plans to really do some serious offense here, like if he wants to just keep making rams here, maybe 1 ram, 1 Mangonel, and then instantly go to the walls of the Saracen player. It'd be okay if he added Lycav, but he isn't, so he's pretty vulnerable to monks, I think. Dobbs is kind of really going ahead the boom. I mean, he's 6 villagers ahead right now. Nobody seems to really go for the relics. Dobbs is making the mugs for it, but he doesn't seem to be making it go for the relics. If Dobbs is going to notice this, might get a free convert on the knight. If he converts it, kills the other knight, easily takes a relic. Who the hell keeps messaging me? And scout sniping the monk. I mean, that's a little bit of a bonus for terror, but Dobbs now securing another extra a second stone. Definite advantage against Magyars to have some stone if you actually are planning to go for the Mamluks, but I doubt it. Dobbs still 3 TCs, definitely probably selling the stone to be able to keep things running. I've not been paying too much attention to that market abuse. Why does Facebook keep saying I have a message? My phone keeps getting absolutely spammed. Yeah, if you want to clear out towers, go +1 knights. I wouldn't get bloodlines like Terror did for a few nights though. Always, I mean, usually it happens to you against someone like the enemy, something without good monks. I mean, the monk's gonna die, but the scout's not in the best of positions to survive that kind of combat either. Ooh, Dobbs almost let the knights into his base. That would have been quite funny. And it looks like Terror's getting a relic. Terror's gonna be the first one to have a relic in this game, interesting enough. Dobbs and the uni is probably gonna go up. Maybe he wants to go Arbalast quite fast. Arbalast definitely do beat +2 knights even. +1 no problem, +2 as long as you get chemistry and stuff, +2 knights still melt to Arbalast. If he assumes his economy is ahead, which I definitely think he should be at least assuming his economy is ahead, then yeah. Why does Terror... I mean, Terror's now at 3 TC, but how did he manage to catch up in villagers so much? He's only 1 villager behind. I'm assuming maybe Dobbs got handcart and Terror did not. To explain at least some of it. Yeah, Terror does not have handcart. But still, Dobbs is only 5 villagers ahead. TCs must be idle quite a bit. It's like a case of investigation here. Both players are going to be able to up at probably similar times. Dobbs is going to be up first if he sells a bit of stone to click up. Still only the 2 on the gold. Ah, jeez, moves horseback gold, that's interesting. Some pressure from Terror now to Dobbs gate. This might change the course of the game. Yeah, Dobbs is going to click up before this hits though. Yeah, he clicks up. Now he can just add his workshop, he could add a couple of monks. He could really just defeat this easily. If Terror does not have a monk nearby, then Dobbs can just even repair this. Doesn't even have to care. Don't forget, if you're in the stream right now, do !raffle. The prize will be 3 months of Vibly Premium Platinum. Platinum gives you a lot of benefits over any other type of Vibly Premium. The silver or the gold, Platinum is a lot better. I only realised how much better it was when I started playing around with some of the features myself. So you should be able to enjoy it. I'll be doing the drawing at the end of the stream, so make sure you're here for that. If someone hosts us and we hit higher view numbers, then yeah, it looks like Dobbs is going to go Arbalast. If we start to hit higher view numbers, then we could obviously add in some more. A lot more premiums if you want. That goes for any Vibly official stream. If we start hitting higher levels of viewership, then we just straight up start adding in more and more Vibly premiums for you guys to win. So don't go spamming, tell people to host us, but if you slight hint hint nudge nudge, you might feel yourself some benefits from that. Probably Arbonager. I mean, could always go RBBC. I don't really know what kind of siege he wants to complement with our blast at this point. Against Magyar's probably Onagers to deal with heavy cav arch. Of course, Terra's going to be up a lot later to Imperial Age, so his Cavalier's not going to be in time. Seedron might be a better meat shield. BBC might be a little bit more mobile to get out of the way. I mean, I guess he does want Terra to invest in the Nightline, because then he could go his own camels. And then, of course, if he does actually go Onager in the first place, which Terra would make a nice counter, then Cavalry Archers isn't a problem. I was trying to think this in like Nova's way, where he went like 500 different methods of countering each other in a circle. Whole circle jerk of countering. Okay, we see a trap. Chemistry coming in for both players. Is Terra gonna go HCA? Yeah, it looks like he is. Interesting. Our blast would be quite nice if he mixes in his own launcher, but Terra already has Bloodlines, Dominant Protein Tactics, Chemistry. He's getting basically all the extra upgrades for the CA. All he needs now is HCA plus the Bracer line of upgrades. RIP Treb. RIP Mangonel. I'm assuming no ballistics? Doesn't look like it. The only thing that misses that much is my Jap's Eye. Terror having 5 relics though. I mean, that's quite a nice little bonus. If he keeps it in the back, he can have his nest egg. Halberdier can easily be his surprise unit here to mix in if he does go for the Cavalry Archer route. To be honest, any route that Terror goes, he might want to add in the Halberdiers just to try and deal with the siege at the same time as deal with the camel line. And an elite skirmisher though, not really going to work if you don't have the numbers. Both getting leather archer armor though, which is pretty important. Can this army from Terra clean up Dobbs' army? I think so. As long as he keeps it moving forward. Nope, he's sitting there attacking the Treb. That's going to cost him a lot of extra mass coming in for Dobbs now. Ballistics finally for Terra. I didn't see ballistics yet from Dobbs, but he's getting masonry. He doesn't need masonry, but you could always, might as well get it if he's, you know, pretty secure. He's going to be difficult to push if he adds in extra buildings on the map like he is now. He's going to castle this, for example. He's going to have some serious protection if he does get masonry. I have no idea whether Magyars get architecture or not. I think it's like out of 31 civs, 16 get it, 15 don't, or the other way around, 15 get it or 16 don't, so it's pretty much split down the middle. No, Magyars don't get it. One of the upgrades I never used to pay attention to, I started paying attention to it at some point. All civs bar 3, I think, get masonry. It's Aztecs don't, Vietnamese don't, and Byzantines don't, because obviously they've got the building HP bonus. But then it's just a mixed bag of architecture. I've never bothered to learn which civs get in, which don't. I mean, are we seeing the unique tech coming from Terra? Terra only has the one castle, but he's getting conscription while it's getting trapped. Yeah, I suppose it's worth getting as long as he has enough villagers to repair it under their trap, blowing enough so he can get the unique tech for the heavy cav arch. He'll be in a better position for killing the Arblast, and the Mamluks, of course, are not going to survive against that. The skirmishers are going to be fully upgraded very, very soon though, and that's going to be very, very bad for the Arblast. Arblast can easily get pushed back by this many skirmishers. Dobbs now getting bloodlines and husbandry for camels, I hope. Probably not Mamluks. Yeah, obviously it's going to be... Nope, light cav. Dobbs throws in light cav with absolutely fucking everything, and it's... This guy. He loves his light cav. Terror's not getting unique tech, he's not getting... Recurve bow. Why did it take so long to remember that technology? with ballistics, he's like having just going to melt to the heavy cav arch and the skirmish to be able to deal with armor blast. That's not a problem. Terror has no siege of his own though. He can't deal with, well, even the mangonel coming in now is going to be a problem. But the trebs killing the castle is a bit of a problem. Terror can easily lose his skirmishers here, and if he loses his skirms, then he loses the fight overall. Yeah, that's kind of it. Oh, Terror is GG. There's nothing you can do. Terror has appeared to run out of stone. Yep, can't repair the castle anymore. There's a lot of gold, of course, with 5 relics you can buy the stone to repair it. He's finally making heavy cav arch, which might be able to win him this fight. One thing I would say about Terror is his micro fight is terrible, but his micro to be able to keep things like onagers and trebs repaired, it's pretty bad. So that looks like Dobbs is now in the lead by 3 points to 1. Just double checking that this command updates instantly. I had some issues with that before. Yeah, it does. Good. I think when I moved around the text files before, I didn't link them up right. I think I had it set to some old one, but I'm not sure why I changed it all in the first place at that point, so it's still a mystery to me to this day. Dobbs sold lots of castles, he had the map control. That would appear to be it. Terror definitely just had the gold advantage, 5 relics, but even the best of gold units from Terror, which would be the Cav Arch and the Paladin, those are easily defeated by Saracen things like camels. They don't have the pikes, but of course no eco bonus for the Magyars, almost matches them up with the Saracens. Society wise, 122 vills for Terror, 105 for Dobbs. Terror did actually have the better boom. I think if he kept making heavy cav arch, he would have been able to just best the Arblast. Heavy cav arch do beat Arblast quite significantly. Nothing too special here. Dobbs did imp a little bit quicker, which definitely did help out with the Arblast. Castle Age was very fast for the Trush. He knew when to bail out. But the Feudal Age, 2 solid vills idle time, almost a full minute. That's disgusting. Definitely better boom for Dobbs actually. I mean, of course Terror did have the Vill high, but Dobbs did start with 3 TCs very quickly. And Terror did wait a very long time for adding TCs because he was going full into the Knights. Yeah, Dobbs with a much larger army. Dobbs beat me the other day by going full halberdier. So we're gonna go another 3-minute intermission, so I'll see you in a minute. Oof, just about choking to death with the coughing. So I still have a cigarette smoke, so I'm gonna be mostly one-handed commentating this game, so this is gonna be fun. Because I'm smoking, obviously, not because of any other reason that would be one-handed. So this could be match point. If Dobbs wins this, he wins the series 4-1. If not, Terror's going to have to win the next 3 games, which definitely could be done. As I said, I did not see these games live. I don't want spoilers, so let's have a go. Double check this is going to work, and it does work. So here we are into game number 5, which could be match point. Depends who wins this game. If it is Terror, 3 wins to win after this, well, including this. If it's Dobbs, he only has to win this one and he wins the series. Interesting sim matchup. We have Goths vs Burmese. Goths are in a bit of trouble here. They do have hand cannoneers over the Burmese, which is decent against the infantry if you're expecting the Burmese player to go champions. I do definitely enjoy going Huskarls as the Goths against the Burmese for any reason aside from the champions. If they go champions though, you could easily add hand cannoneers. The problem is getting there. You don't have any economy bonus, you have to boom before you get to that point. So the Burmese player smushes. Or just opens with Iron Buy, you could be kind of screwed. Especially if they're fast to imp, then it's a really big problem. Goths just don't have the text to make that work. Because especially if you look at the Goth tech tree, I mean, even though Heresy is a problem of its own, terrible Monks course, no redemption, no atonement, no block printing. I mean, it's not all that bad considering block printing if you consider flanks, then yeah. Dobbs does smush on occasion, but I wouldn't say he's a big smusher, no. I see he's more of a boomer boy. Every game I play against him, he just decides to boom half the time. Except that time I was Goths, he was Mayans, and he tried to Siege Tower crossbow me. Or Siege Tower Eagles. And I literally palisade lined the entire inside of my wall. It was an absolute beautiful work of art. He couldn't hop over. It was... that was absolutely glorious. I will never forget that moment. So Terror, his map is really janky actually. At least that's technically walled, and he could get himself an extra gold just simply by deleting this wall here, putting a house there maybe. I would probably stiff and boom his Goths. 23 plus 2, definitely more than enough to just destroy any kind of defensive castle someone aims to build one. Especially if you're ramped getting really quickly, then they could try and build a castle with 15 villagers. If you have enough monks and you have a mangonella by that point, then it's going to be a huge problem for them to try and get that up. Unless their TC is in a perfect position. So Dobbs map's not looking, Terrace map's not looking so great. If he was at end, sure he has a stone, he could easily get that gold at the back if he does want to get cast defense up, get Huskarls out in the later game maybe a kind of spam to kill monks, which can definitely be effective. And over here we have Dobbs with a not great map either. I'm not seeing anything back here, you just have back deers, a little bit of back area. But main stone kind of forward, a little bit back. 2 golds pretty back and 2 stones, which if Terror trushes, which in a matchup this bad he might even do, they're going to be really a big game changer here for Dobbs, I think. Oh, I just completely forgot I'm smoking a Joe right now. I always buy Best of the Hedges Blue Super Kings, but for some reason they've been out, so I've been buying the Joels and it's not clicking them. But I think if you type !caster, it should work. If you hear me coughing a lot, it's because I'm both ill, drinking beer and smoking, so I'm basically the epitome of Scotland right now. See, I would think that Terror would like to trush, but maybe he might aim for the late game. He can win in the late game against the Burmese Goths, but it's kind of an outside chance, I think. No trush from the Burmese player, which is a bit weird as well. Dobbs can, you know, choose to trush if he does feel he has a win. Of course, against a slower civ, the wood cutting upgrade is actually quite important if you fast feudal. Fast castle is not that important, but fast feudaling is a really nice upgrade to get for free. So it's something you might even consider. But it looks like he's just going to go for the Iron Buy. Foreign wood, no second lumber camp yet. Maybe he's going to do some really fast up pop, maybe 26 plus 2, 27 plus 2. Maybe 26. By now he should be adding more to wood, so if he's going for a higher pop, so 26 maybe. I feel it's a little bit of a wasted opportunity if he only goes for 27. Terror's deers are just not so great. But as I said, he might want to even delete this to push the deer in, and then of course he could just delete the rest, put a house here and have a lot of extra back area with the extra gold in it. And he is going on stone. Looks like Terror is going for a slightly later trush. Perfectly fine. I mean, assuming that his opponent is probably going to go Iron Buy anyway, because the Goths can't make too many options to kill that early on. You should have seen Terror pushing deer the last game. Like, when I say last game, I mean the first game. It was absolutely incredible. Dobbs even building a palisade in the corner. He knows what's up. But yeah, Terra's deer pushing the first game was something incredible. Oh, he doesn't even scout the palisade. And straight for the corner. Realizes he can't build in it probably. Now he's just gonna hope for the gold. I mean, you can't see both second golds, so. But he's kind of out of the loop though. He's not gonna hit the second gold. Second stone, main stone rather. I completely go blind to this point. Nor the main gold. This trush is not gonna really work off. I think Dobbs can easily defend this. I think one of the worst trush defenses I ever replaced was I tried to build a gate right in the area where he was going to break in. But I misclicked and actually built it in the wall. So I just opened up 4 tiles of wall for him to walk right through. At that point, it was the worst thing I've ever done in AOC, I think. Dobbs is really going to get this wall down quick. Terror rather. Terror been trushing forever, so he's probably going to get this one done. I'm hoping Terra wins this one. I would like to see a slightly longer set, though of course at least he did take a game, so it's not too bad. He's going for some crazy double palisade walling here. He can't actually even build that. That's... Terror again, really fast fletching. Didn't see him build the blacksmith, but instead of rather adding the barracks and then adding archery range easy, or early rather, looks like he's just going to be going straight for the fletching. I guess fletching's quite important. He could win Tower Wars that way. He shouldn't be able to get his tower up first, but it looks like he's going to be able to. Dobbs start building this one a little bit earlier, but as long as Dobbs can stay on stone, then you'll be able to add a cast and go iron by and maybe win this one towards the later game. Oh, why are you building a house? Try and block villagers or something? I mean, he still has the tower in range, so he'd be fine to vill rush that if he wanted to. Don't forget exclamation mark raffle to enter a raffle for 3 months of Vibly Premium. It is platinum. Terror just giving no fucks instantly, trying to repair it when it's barely even damaged. That's some serious advantage taken right there. Terror basically completely out of resources, flowing a bit of stone. He's not building as many towers because he's kind of stalled by this. Dobbs should be able to up quite easily. He could buy 100 food. He has a few farmers still. Losing these berries though is kind of important when you get trushed because you do need those as extra food to click up quite early. So my thinking here is Dobbs going to sell stone to up, or is he just going to wait until he could eventually up? Maybe even get a wheelbarrow. Terra not really paying that much attention to this. I think maybe he should just send his villagers back here just to see what Dobbs did the other game, where he just assumed that he couldn't do any further damage, he's blocked off. If he did, he was just going to waste time. So he just sent the villagers home. Or at least out to mine something else. I think when you fast feudal, it definitely hurts you a lot more than your opponent to have your villagers sing around. I almost forgot to get another beer to drink. Okay, so now Dobbs can click up. He has Blacksmith Market and has the resources. What are you doing, Dobbs? Why are you going this early? Okay, he doesn't really have a clue where the resources are. He knows where his second gold is. What? I can see him trying to build the forward castle, but what is he doing with these maneuvers? This is some CIA shit right here. Oh wow. Dobbs did lose one tower, but he's going to get another one up here. This can easily be hopped through though. Like, this tower doesn't cover here. This could easily have a tower built in it and hop through. Doesn't get him anywhere though. Like, he has to go quite a long way around to eventually get to even a wood line. And the gold and stone, no chance. Is Dobbs going to wall him? Yeah, if Dobbs builds a house, he walls him out. I think if Dobbs can wall Terror completely out, then he's really fine. There we go. Wall going up, couple hundred HP. Losing a villager though, he might even lose another one. These villagers have been taking arrow fire for ages. Ah, Dobbs. I don't like to see that. Going down to 7 villager advantage to Terror. Of course, Dobbs is now up to castle age, but wow. What? What? What even is this? Just giving him like a 12 tile wall to completely defend himself against this. Oh, I have no clue what he's up to. 4 villages and gold's not that much. Very little on the old wood line there as well. Dobbs just doesn't have the economy to run 2 castle iron by, because he's going to have to build another castle after this one. I think that's the hope of him staying on stone. But this castle is just so bad. At least build it in the middle, you know, an open area where someone trying to defend it has to do some insane walling across here. But walking to the edge of the map and then building it, so he's got this quick wall off here. Why? Of course now, Terror is a little bit further in, but Dobbs does have a Mangale here which can easily just be repaired. And TC's right there, so it's not a problem. But that castle is just... Well, I guess Terror noticed. Ironbag can easily sit under this tower on the gold though. And what gold does Terror have after that? None in the back. This one over here, but he didn't bother to secure it. I don't know. Oh, for fuck's sake. How have I ever lost to this guy? Oh, to be fair, I did get Khmer. That's enough to definitely... I mean, he might lose houses and accidentally pop cap himself. I mean, house himself, but, you know, tower's gonna go down. Tower's just gonna keep popping from this tower to this tower to this tower. He's gonna make his way back. But he's just gonna lose his small villager advantage. One arm by masked up. There is very, very little wood economy from Dobbs, though. Making these mangonels probably cost him a little bit. And repairing them as well, so you can't even afford to make more mangonite, iron by. If he just had a couple parked them under here, then that's Terror's gold completely gone. Terror actually can't escape. I just completely forgot Dobbs did that. So how many villages is that? There's 4 villagers still remaining. As long as these mangonels survive, then Terror's gonna go for 2 villas behind, 6 villas behind. And of course, Dobbs is in castle age, which already puts him in automatic 3-4 villages ahead anyway. I heard an iron by die. Couldn't have been that one again, could it? Must have ran back there or something. But yeah, 2, park it under there, win. No armor upgrades, of course, doesn't have stable snow bloodlines, none of that stuff. Terror's behind in villages. I'm fairly sure that at this point Dobbs is just going to be idling. Did I miss something? Are those new villagers that Dobbs sent forward? Oh, and another castle, extremely ballsy coming up for Dobbs. It's going to be in view of the Gate of Terror. Terror does have the stone to build a tower. He's still in stone, he'll be able to make a second tower as well if he wanted to, but there's Aram by. That's going to be extremely hard to destroy. Monk now coming out for Terror. Is he going to be able to convert an Aram by? It's going to be pretty RNG. No. Losing to these villagers. Oh, actually, yeah, he did convert one. That was almost nice to convert. Now what? This TC is going to go down in his castle pretty much on his main gold, basically balls deep in it. Dobbs really has the map positioning here. He has a massive village advantage. Both players now castle age 4 village advantage for Dobbs. Definitely military advantage with the mangonels as well as the iron buy. He needs to get those mangonels forward to try and work on the castle. Now what is Terror going to do for gold though? He's just going to call it. He has no gold left. So we have a 4-1 win for Dobbs. Not bad, these saves were not too good. I think next time I arrange for this kind of thing to happen, get some prizes for them, then I think I will probably request something along the lines of each player has 3 global bans for civs. And then they just hidden civ pick from the remaining civs. So I mean 6 civs will get banned, probably the 6 top ones, and then you've got, for the next 7 games, you know, the next 7 top civs, which really makes, you know, top 15 plus definitely gives you a good civ matchup. You'll get things like Vikings and Incas, not top 1 civs you would normally see in hidden picks, not even top 5, but you'll probably see easy top 10, top 15 you don't usually see. You might even see Japanese get picked. Jap, Vikings, Italians, all these civs that a lot of people like to pick but are generally not regarded as top civs. Quick review of the stats. 43 vil high for Dobbs, only 1 more. Of course, Terror did lose all those vils. Faster cast time for Dobbs by a mile. Dobbs better economy. Similar units lost and killed.